Good morning, good afternoon. Aaron Shiner here from Jigglar. We're about a minute before we get started. I hope everybody is doing well wherever they are. I just want to do a quick sound check. I want to do a quick audio check. So if you can, quick video check. So there should be like a little chat box. Can you guys put like the letter Y in the chat box if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay? Great, excellent, lots of yeses. That is awesome. That would be also awesome. I can see Mark has just told me where he's watching from. Can everybody just type the city where you're tuning in from today? So Jigglar's now in over 130 countries around the world. So I'm going to suspect there's going to be lots of Aussies and New Zealanders on this. Singapore, New Zealand, Brisbane, great. San Diego. I don't know what's the time there. It'd be like in the middle of the night for you guys. Sydney. So I get it. The time zone isn't practical for everybody. 6 p.m. Okay, that's awesome. So 11 o'clock here, 11 a.m. here in Sydney. So this is really cool. Thank you for everybody that's joining us. We'll get started in about a minute. Miami, awesome. While we get started, why don't we just go and grab a notepad and we'll go and grab a pen just in case you have one of those light bulb moments or aha moments, because realistically, I want to share a little bit, not just about the QR codes with you today, about how to drive QR codes. I really want to talk about, how do we generate business from them? How do we get in front of more potential sellers? How do we, extend our reach? There's one absolutely vital rule about real estate. And I don't care if this is, Australia, New Zealand, America, the UK, and we've even got people even in Mongolia. This is the number one rule about real estate. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. And, using QR code technology will allow you to take, what could traditionally be an offline marketing piece, like a letterbox drop, or a flyer drop of some description, and then take the QR code side, which may be a video for argument's sake. And so this is an exciting time where you can take offline marketing and online marketing and put them together to create an inline marketing package. So you've got best of both worlds. So we'll talk about that today. So I think we're about 2 past. So I think we'll officially get started. So hello, Aaron Shiner here. Welcome to a Jigglar webinar. I'm really excited to be bringing you this webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about how to best use the QR code tool within Jigglar to help you, create more contacts, get in front of more potential sellers, and ultimately list and sell more properties. So if you don't know who I am and this is your first time tuning in to a Jigglar webinar, I will quickly introduce myself. My name is Aaron Shiner. I am one of the co-founders of Jigglar. I'm also a real estate coach here in Australia. But before I was a real estate coach here in Australia, I was a real estate agent for 21 years. So, and I get it. This is, if you know me, that's fine. But if you don't know me, I'm 39 now. I started in the real estate industry when I was 18. And I think when I get asked regularly, what's one of the things you're most proud of as a real estate agent? One of the things I'm most proud of as a real estate agent was being able to list over 200 properties a year. And that made me the #1 agent in my network by the age of 27. And I managed to do that 3 years in a row. So as an agent, that's the thing I'm sort of most proud of. But fast forward to where we are today. And what are the things I'm proud of today? Well, now I'm a co-founder of 2 different technology companies, one being Jigglar. And the thing I'm most proud of with Jigglar is we're in 130 plus countries around the world. And what gives me a real buzz and a real satisfaction is some of those templates that I created in my Sydney office 5 years ago, even 7, 8, 9 years ago, are being used globally to help agents around the world. So that's the thing, I guess, that I'm most proud of with Jigglar. I was at NAR before the dreaded COVID. So like it was November 2019. I was at NAR in San Francisco. and we were nominated. We didn't win, unfortunately, but we were nominated. Jigglar was nominated for best tech innovation through Inman, and we were over there. You know, we had our lanyards on, and I had Jigglar on there. And one lady come up to me, and I'll never forget this, because I've travelled halfway around the world to get to San Francisco to attend NAR. And there's this lady. She says, "Aaron, you don't know me, but my name is." And she introduced herself. She says, I'm a customer of yours. I'm based in Mongolia, and we absolutely love, we absolutely love Jigglar. We use it all the time. And complete honesty, and I don't know if this was right or wrong, but it is the truth. I couldn't even point to where Mongolia is on the world map. I wouldn't begin to know, but it gives me a real buzz to know that there's people around the globe using Jigglar. So anyway, that's enough about our backstory. What you guys are here for is, how Jigglar and how using this QR code system can help you. And I think that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So as you will probably see, in Jigglar, we've actually added a suite of new QR code templates. I'm going to share my screen with you now. We've added a suite of QR code templates, and we've also added a QR code feature. And for me, let me just talk about QR code for a second. So regardless, there's some of us right now that are in lockdown. There's some of us that aren't. And regardless if you are in a place watching from lockdown due to COVID, or if you're free and your country and city has got it under control, here's one thing that I know has happened. The use of QR code technology has increased 100-fold since this whole check-in and this whole COVID sort of crisis has occurred. So let me explain something. QR code technology isn't a new technology. It's been around for 25 plus years that I can remember. And if it's not exactly right, I apologize. If you know exactly how long it is, put it in the chat and I'll say the correct answer. But it's from my best experience, as an agent, it was in there when I first started 20 odd years ago, and I'm going to assume it had applications beyond that. So it's been around 20, 25 years. And, once upon a time, you needed, hardware, you needed apps and all this stuff to get the best out of it. And, one of the first things about any technology and any sort of tool, number one rule, it has to be easy to use. And once upon a time, you needed third-party software, you needed these scan guns to get it started. It's all too hard, don't worry about it. Fast forward to where we were, when sort of COVID sort of hit, start of 2020, all the operating systems on phone introduce the QR code scanner without having to have apps, and then it all kicks off. And maybe I'm not doing it just, but here's what I know. I feel like the technology was ahead of its time. The software was great, but the hardware was holding it back. And I think for the first time, in human history, the hardware is now in line with the software, where it's basically pull out your phone, scan the thing, and you're good to go. So, we come up with an idea in Jigglar, if people are used to QR code technology, why don't we incorporate some of this in our offline marketing? Because here's what I see. Let me just, before I just get into moving the mouse, let me share something that I see. I see agents putting so much time, energy, and effort into creating what I would call digital assets, right? So a digital asset would be something used online, something like a video, a marketing video, or social, or something about a market report online. But there's this digital stuff, and then we go to the respective channel where we're trying to promote it, we create a strategy, and we're spending money on Facebook, or we're spending money on Instagram, or we're spending money, pushing it out to YouTube, or whatever it is. And what I find is the biggest blockage to this system is we're typically spending money, and we're targeting people that aren't in the area we work in, don't particularly know us, and have got a much lower probability of interacting with us. versus the people in our farm area, our neighborhood, our suburb that we work in. They're our target market, and they're the people we actually want to have watch our videos and consume our content. These are the people that we want to have see it. So in my opinion, QR code technology is a great way to sort of get to those people, target those people in an offline strategy, let it be through a letterbox drop or through some sort of newspaper ad or whatever it is. But then you've got the capability for them to see your digital marketing. And to me, this is the best way that you can find or target the people in your farm area that you want to be seeing your digital stuff. Now you can target them through QR codes. And I think that's the exciting part of QR codes. And realistically, the way you use QR codes is really only limited by your imagination. Let me give you an example. As you can see, as I'm quickly scrolling through Jigglar, and just by the way, can I just get a quick, the letter Y for yes, you can see my screen okay as I'm scrolling through Jigglar, if that's okay. Just so I make sure that you guys can see what I see. Fantastic, lots of yeses. Okay, that's awesome. I'm happy with that. So I want to share just a couple of different applications that you can use this QR code technology, and we'll do it pretty quickly. So I'm going to go and grab a couple that to me are the no-brainers, are the lowest hanging fruit. I'm going to start with these two, and then I'm going to sort of build up a little bit. All right. So what you don't see is Zoom is blocking. There we go. Now I can zoom in. Okay. So what you can't see at the top of my screen is there's the Zoom bar, which is stopping me from accessing the tabs. But here we are. So let me just talk about your traditional just sold flyer. And this is one of the things I'm most excited about with having QR code technology. So in this example, this is one of my favorite templates in Jigglar at the moment as a standalone template, because we sell a property, and what we most of the time do as agents, we sort of say we need more properties, we urgently need more sellers. Here's the reality. Nobody ever wants to do business with somebody who is needing business urgently. Nobody wants to do business with that person. So what I prefer to do, instead of do a just sold flyer that says we urgently need new sellers, we just tell them the story. We tell them the story of, here's the property that sold. We got $985,000 for it. It was on the market for 5 days. It was sold by whoever it was. Then you can look at inspections. How many inspections happened? How many offers happened? How many web inquiries, etc. But here's what's going to tell the real story. You may make a video, right? So you can stand in front of that property and you can talk about the actual campaign. So you may actually even hold up the brochure. So you've got the brochure in hand and you can say or create something like this. Hi, it's Aaron Shiner here from First National. I'm so glad you took the time to scan the QR code. I just wanted to make you a really quick video and just talk about the property that we just sold. So it was only on the market for 3 weeks, and it was a multiple offer situation. And we ended up achieving a price that was $50,000 above the high end of expectation. We're working, if you're in America, we're working with some buyers and buyers agents, or if you're in Australia, we're working with some buyers who have missed out on that property, and they've asked us to find them a house close by. So I'm making you a video to find out if, or to ask you, would you like to find out the new value of your property? If you would like to, simply call the number on the flyer, and I'd be happy to make a time to have a chat to you about your real estate needs. Anyway, I've enjoyed making this video for you. Keep an eye out for the next video. I'll speak to you shortly. Bye for now. That's just an example of the video. You can obviously figure out the style of video that suits you, but you would then put that video on the QR code. So let me show you exactly how that would take place, right? So I've just gone ahead and prepared a video, which is just one of my training videos on YouTube, right? So it's just a YouTube video. I'll go ahead and I'll go here, and then, so the way that the QR code feature works is pretty simple. Just in your navigation tool, you've got this QR code icon there. So I'll just click on that. And here's the great thing. There's multiple calls to action with the QR code system. And I'm just going to go with, I guess, the most obvious one to get us started. And that is visit a URL. And to visit a URL, it's simple. You just copy the link for that URL. And in this example, it's just that YouTube video. So I've just gone and, Control-C, Control-V, or you can right-click, copy, right-click, paste. So I'll do that again. So click in the box, right-click, paste, and there's the link, right? So now all I have to do is click this Insert Code button, and it generates the QR code. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go and swap out the placeholder QR code image. I'm going to put it in with the real one, sort of get it up and centered. So realistically, what I'd like everybody to do right now, if you can, pull out your phone and scan that QR code. Scan that QR code and see where it takes you. Now, picture that's my just sold video. So if that took you to a YouTube page, just type the letter Y again in the chat, just so I can say that that's what's happening and it's actually working correctly, because this webinar is live, and obviously we always work without a net when everything is live. Cool. So that is awesome, right? So, and I understand the video on YouTube isn't a sold video, but you get the application. You're only really limited by your imagination of what sort of video you want to make. And here's what I know. Just sold flyers are great to reach offline people, but it doesn't really talk to the audience about who you are, how you got, how you went about achieving that result. The video can. People can, one of my favorite sayings in life and in this business is your energy introduces you before your handshake. A flyer doesn't introduce your energy, but a video does. And they can sense, when I say those potential customers, they can sense, who you are from your video. They can get a real good feel for, what type of person you are and the result you got. And more importantly, when you're seeing them in the local community, you're seeing them in the local neighborhood, they see your face and they say, oh, Aaron, I watched your video. And that's something really exciting as well. So that's the first thing I want to show you around video. Now, let me show you a couple of other templates. Now, I really like this template as an example, because this is like a property snapshot. And I guess a property snapshot is designed to be an at-a-glance report on how well their neighborhood, the potential seller's neighborhood, is performing. And again, we may just go ahead and we may create a market report and get all the statistics from, I think CoreLogic is the American mother company. Over here, it's RP Data, Pricefinder, but CoreLogic, or whoever you find, if it's through your MLS or whatever, but you find that data and you import the data into the template or simply type it in. But then I like this part down here. You want to know more about property information in your suburb? Scan the QR code. And then again, it can be as simple as, I'm just going to go ahead and insert, I'm going to URL, insert the link to that QR code. I'll swap that one out, put that one in. And then again, that can be as simple as you standing in front of a property or in your office or at an on-site location saying, hi, Aaron Shiner here from Keller Williams. I'm really excited to be bringing you this market update. What a crazy first half of 2021 it's been. What we've seen is plenty of buyers out in the marketplace looking to secure properties. We're seeing a real shortage of listings, and we're seeing prices on the increase. And whatever is happening in your market, you can talk about that. So, if you are considering buying or you are considering selling, now is a great time. And off you go with your video. And then again, upload the video to YouTube or upload that video to Facebook so you can do your digital market or your digital marketing and your digital targeting. But then you also then put it on your letterbox drop or your offline marketing template, and you can use that as part of your letterbox drop technique and reach offline people with your online video. So that's one way to do it. Now, let me go through a couple of different template options that may be available to you. So I want to now talk about, maybe some different ideas, not just using video all the time. So I want to show you a couple, and okay. So let's do this one, property estimate. So this one was almost staring me in the face. So I might just click on that. By the way, have there been some aha moments on how you can better, fuse your online marketing and offline marketing together? I hope so. If yes, put yes in the box. If no, put no. Put the letter no, and that's okay. It doesn't always have to be a yes. So, but hopefully this is sort of getting the cogs turning on how you can outperform your competition, because there's going to be a massive point of difference to those who embrace this technology, and you will get a jump on your competition. That's a fact. How about something like this? Find out what your property is worth. Okay, so this one is a really cool one. So find out what your property is worth. So all you have to do is scan the QR code. So watch this one, a completely different application. So instead of going to a URL, it might be send a text message. And that's obviously an Australian number. That's going to go to me. So how about this? Hi, Aaron. Yes, please. I would like to know what my property is worth. My address is, and then it will say address here. And my name is name here. All right, I'll do that. Done. And I'll put just to follow good business practice. I'll do the same thing here. Regards. Now, I'm going to go ahead and insert that QR code. I'll delete this one. Check this out, guys. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to get your phone out, and I'd like you to scan. I'm just going to zoom in on that to make the screen a bit bigger. I'm going to scan that QR code. I'd like for you to scan that QR code. And if you're in Australia, obviously you can click send so I know that you get it. And that might be good for our American watchers. There we go. So check this out. So I don't know if you can see this, but I'm getting all the text messages come through from you guys right now. And it's just saying basically, hi, my name is, I'd like, and obviously they would fill in their name and their address. And then that way you've got their mobile number, you've got their name, and you've got their address, and you can get in contact with them and you can let them know what their property's worth. Pretty cool way of doing it, right? Just barriers to entry get reduced. Somebody put in an emoji at the end of that one, regards, awesome. So that's cool, whatever that was. Just another way of using QR code, another point of difference. So again, you could use this exact same application, except now with an email. So same principle behind it. We click on the email, and then you can have it set to the email. You can fill in the subject line. Yes, please. I want to sell my house. Whatever that is, right? And then enter this field, and that would be the email body to go here. Same principle. I'll click insert, switch it out, and now instead of it being an SMS, now what it's going to be is an email. So same principle. So if you don't want me SMSing you or texting you, then they can email you. So, and then the last QR code feature we have is dial your phone number. So again, let's just do the dial. We'll get rid of that one, actually. Dial the phone number, insert, and just like that, if they scan it, it will automatically start dialing the number you've put in. So we've got 4 different calls to action. So you can have it just to automatically dial you, text you, email you, or send them to a URL. And in my opinion, if you're going to send them to a URL, it should be like a capture page or some sort of video content. So, you know, realistically, in my opinion, you could put QR code on your business card, and if people scan that, that could take them to your profile video. Or if they scan that, it could take them to a list of all your recent sales or all the recent client testimonials. You know, realistically, now I'm showing you the 4 different calls to action. Your homework realistically is going through Jigglar and not just using the templates that already have the QR codes on them, but also looking at other templates and finding out, you know, finding out how you could use it. And let me just sort of freestyle, because I can think of a few templates that come to mind that I would use. Okay, for argument's sake, on this one, I've clicked it. Okay, cool. So on a Facebook post like this, the market updates, you can put a QR code in on it, and it can link to a video if you wanted to do that. So that's one way you could use it on socials, or you could just post the video with it as well. But if you want to post the video onto your site, onto your business site, not on the Facebook, that would work. But let me show you the main one that I've got in mind. I have to find the template. I don't know what it's called. The great thing about Jigglar is we've got lots of templates. The bad thing about Jigglar is we've got lots of templates. You know, we've got over 1,000 templates specifically built for real estate agents now. Okay, free rental. You may put a call to action that might take them to, you might put a QR code on there. They scan the QR code and it goes to like a capture page. So you can capture their details, so you can get in contact with them about, you know, the offer that you've got. But let me share with you the main one that I want to show you, if I can find it. And it's basically saying, yeah, like, do you want to know what your property's worth? You know, digital appraisal. The reason why I want to show it to you is you would, if I can find it, you would put the QR code on it, and it would just basically be, yes, please, I want to know what my property is worth. And then you can do that in a digital form where they don't have to call you, they don't have to take your number down. I'm going to struggle to find it. I might try. Oh, it's all right. I'm almost at the bottom, I think. There it is. Okay. I finally found it. I was about to give up looking for it. So instead of SMS, right, I'm just going to freestyle here. Instead of SMS your address to, or your contact details to, and I'll respond with a figure, I would get this one, QR code, and I'd link it up to the phone number, and I would insert that in there. And instead of writing SMS, I'd say scan the QR code. Scan the QR code, and I'll respond with a figure. I'll get rid of this guy, get rid of that. Wow, control, wow. When in doubt, click the undo button. Flying without a net. I'll do that again, one more time. I'm just going to reset the template, so I don't want to do battle with it. Click, get rid of you. No, I just want to get rid of this. Oh, come on, please, get rid of it. There we go. Okay. And then I'd move that up, not that, move that up. Okay. And then I would insert the QR code. I finally got there. So text message, insert, and then, yeah, I'd like scan the QR code and I'll respond with a figure. So that's what I would do there. And obviously I'll tighten that up. I'll reduce the text size to make it all fit into that box. Actually, I can cheat. I can bring that box down a little bit too. But again, this is your homework, guys. Figure out how you're going to use QR code technology in your business. And for me, the #1 way that you should be using QR code, and that is through video, because that's letting your neighborhood, your offline customers get to know who you are in an online environment and watch your video. As we wrap up today, because I wanted to go for about half an hour and we're right on that, I'm happy to open it up to question. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, and that can be about strategy behind QR code or about the actual tool itself. So I'll hang around. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat. Will QR code work with a PDF? Can you direct someone to a PDF document that you've created? So good question, Mark. The answer is if that PDF document is online, if that PDF document is a digital, if it's been hosted somewhere, the answer is yes. You'd be able to do that, but it would have to be a link to that PDF where they could download it. So I hope that answers the question. And if it doesn't, please, yeah, let it 100%. So let's just say it's a letterbox drop, and I'm just going to go ahead and save this template now. I'll get rid of the question box for a second. Name the template. Sure, no problems. I'll click save. Click save. When you click save on it and download it, it will give you the option to save as a PDF, and then obviously you can just take it to print, Mark, and it will be there for them to scan. So that's just the PDF ready for you to print, and you can distribute that. Now, if you actually want to take them to a PDF, then that PDF would have to be like a digital download, and you'd have to have the link for it. And yes, you could do that. So if I was to, example, say, put that up on Amazon Stories right now, I could get the link, put that link into Jigglar, and that would link to the PDF download. So yes, that will work, but it would have to be to a download link. So I'm glad that helped. Thank you for your presentation, Aaron. Looking forward to putting this into practice. From LJ Hooker in NZ also. Kyle, check this out. You probably know this, but I just want to make sure you do. For NZ, sorry, for LJ Hooker, we've got you guys sorted. You're one of the very few that, with the franchise groups, your font is in there, LJ Hooker Lighthouse. So you are 100% brand compliant with their exact font. So hopefully that helps. Any other questions, guys? Letterbox drops. This is where I honestly see Jigglar and QR codes shining. It's in your letterbox drops, in your offline marketing, slapping those QR codes on them and getting them out. 100% you should be using QR codes. Yeah, excellent. Happy to, I'm glad I showed you that then, Kyle, because it's an easy one. Mark from Ray White, do I have your fonts, Ray White fonts? The answer is no, Mark. We don't. If you can get them to us, we'll happily put them in. And what we're actually doing soon, I don't know if I should be saying this on this webinar, but soon, I don't know when, we're actually going to allow you to install your own fonts. So instead of just being able to choose from the fonts we give you, you'll be able to actually upload custom fonts. So if you have, your Ray White font you want to upload, you'll be able to do it. If you've got the whatever group you're with, whatever brand, if you can get the font file, you can upload it, and then you've got your own personal fonts. So that's in the making. That is not there yet, but it is coming. So I'm going to say it again. We do not have that feature yet, but just like QR codes, we're constantly innovating. We're constantly adding new things, and we're making it better all the time. So Mark, we don't have Ray White's fonts, but soon you'll be able to upload your own. So good for you. Yeah, so it's just one of the many ideas we've got coming. Any other questions around this? I'm making sure I haven't missed any. Is there a way you would know? Oh, so Jacinta, really good question about who actually watched. The answer is no. You'll never know who watched, but what we are working on is an additional feature to QR code, and it's not there yet, but I've discussed it with the guys, and that is like a QR code counter. So how many times the QR code was scanned. And let me give you an example of why I believe something like that would be important, right? Let me just humor me. So, the way I see this working around the application is around a just sold template, for argument's sake. So you may do a just sold template, and you might do one for ABC Street, and then you may do one for XYZ Street. and you might drop 100 of just sold flyer 1, and you might drop 100 of just sold flyer 2. And in one street where you drop 100, you may get 10 scans, and the system will say you had 10 scans. Well, you might say, well, hang on, that's quite a good number of scans, and I know that 10 of those people have watched my video. I'm going to go out and door knock or phone call those 10 people to find out who they are. Versus the house that had only, or the just sold where you dropped 100 may have only had 2 scans. And you can say, well, you know what? That street's just not as interested in selling right now. There's no point in the additional follow-up. But the street with the 10 scans, absolutely, that's going to be worth my investigation. So, Jacinta, we're never going to be able to show you or tell you who, but we will be able to tell you how many times it has been scanned. And that's something that we've discussed, that we would like to see added on QR code 2.0, if you will. So hopefully that answers that and helps. Or even a follow-up QR code with a call to action, 100%. So, so with how I would see it working, right? And this is one thing about QR or about anything digital. The more friction you create, the more abandonment you will get. So let me give you an example. If you just say scan the QR code to watch my video, and you just link them straight to a YouTube video or a Facebook video, they can scan it. They go straight to the QR code, and they go straight to the video and watch it. You're going to get a high view rate. But if you really wanted to sort of capture people's details, you would scan the QR code, like so you put the QR code on the flyer, and then when they scan it, it would get to a video that would say this: hey, I'm so happy that you've taken the time to scan the QR code. What I need from you before I show you that video, can you please enter your first name, last name, and email? And straight after that, I'm gonna show you the video. So the more barriers you put in front of somebody, the less people will actually complete it. But that is a way, if you did want to capture their details, you put basically an opt-in page or what is called a squeeze page in front of the video to capture the details. So that's an option. But what we know is the more friction you create, the more abandonment you get. And so my initial reaction is you just want them to be watching, connecting with your stuff. And if your stuff is good, they're going to reach out to you. You won't have to, you wouldn't have had to capture it because they're going to tap you on the shoulder. Kyle, if the QR code is linked to your video, will it count to your YouTube? 100% it will, Kyle. So if you scan that QR code and they go and watch it on your video on YouTube, that will 100% count to your YouTube views, 100%. So, and there's some good questions here, guys. Any other questions that you've got? Because I can see we've kept most of the people. When I said the webinar was over, most of the people sort of stuck around, which is cool. So, can I just see, is there anybody that isn't on a paid account here? Is anybody on a free account with Jigglar right now? Just click Y if you're on a free account with Jigglar, or you're in a trial or whatever it is. Because I'm going to assume most of you are paid and sort of, have got a premium full account. But I am curious to see if there is any sort of free trial accounts. And if you are and you're on the fence, this may be the reason to go and upgrade. And if you're already on a paid account, well, it's going to give you the, I guess more reasons to use Jigglar as well. So look, guys, it doesn't look like there's any more questions. So I'm going to end this webinar now. I've really enjoyed making it for you. Hopefully you've got plenty of benefit out of it. If what I would like everybody to do, if you're not part of the Jigglar Inner Circle on Facebook, I'd love for you to join. So it's just Jigglar Inner Circle. If you search it, Jigglar Inner Circle. I guess I can do that here. Jigglar Inner Circle, and come in, join our group, and post up what templates that you're going to share. That's where we share our latest templates. Our users sort of share where they have wins. So if you want to be part of the Inner Circle, please come along. I'd love to see you generate a QR code template and post it in the Inner Circle. Tag me in it. You can see I'm right there. That's my name. That's me right at the very top. Tag me in it, and I can see what templates you generated with the QR code. That would give me a real buzz, just like when that lady at NAR tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, I use Jigglar and I'm from Mongolia. I'd love for you to tag me in this and say this is going to be the QR code post or the template that I'm going to use from our webinar. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.